stop it or it might hit you. If it hits you, then you'll stand a good chance of stopping the second one because he's unlikely to throw one and stop, right? It's going to be pumping along that line. So what Motobu tells us is if there's something coming along this line, here's a way in which you can stop it, right? So I say he's a brave man when he does it, right? But we're there. So all he does is he brings his arm out here. And then again, similar to number one, he just takes his elbow straight into here, bang. You notice I've still got hold of Ali's arm. You don't let go of it. And when I've smashed him with the elbow there, that's when I move away. He's okay, so we'll turn around the other side so we can see it both directions. So he swings in his shot from there, bang, bang. If he attacks, boom, boom, here, out and in, and then moves away from there. Blocks with one arm, hits with the other, as is his wont. Right? But once you latch onto that arm, you stay latched onto it all the time. In my dojo, we call it, you can trade up, but you never trade down. So what I mean by that, so say for example, Ali throws some kind of shot, now again, I'm kind of here, and I don't like that, so my hand's there. Right? And I throw this shot. That hand will stay there, but I might take it off because I could get something better. So I might go bang, and you know what, I want to take him down. So I'll give up control of the arm because it's better for me to be on the ground. He said, okay, so we call that as an example, that will be trading up. But what I would never do is I would never go bang, bang, boom, because I've lost control of the arm and gained nothing for it. Does that kind of make sense? Yep. So on this one then, swings his shot, hits the groin, squeeze, 1, 2. So it's almost like, the way I see it anyway, there's the technique. And there's the appendix, if you like, for what to do if he throws that shot. He's like, okay, so you're not quickly grabbing the groin and then releasing it. Well, I've got hold of that. If he's brave enough to swing that shot, then that's what I could do. He said, okay, so I see this one as a drill of 2 halves. You ever okay to give that one a go? And then that's a hole of number 3, right? And the good news is 4 and 5 are really one solo as well. So again, this is another one, when I was creating my own little kata to practice this stuff with, that I had, which way am I going to do it? So we know it's a slap to the groin, as I've talked about, to mush everything up, and then a grip, right? But if I was doing the kata and I went quickly, that could easily become that. You know, and then anyone learning the kata, what is that? Is that kind of some kind of rising punch? What is it? So what I need to do is make it clear it's a slap then a grab. So how do I do that? So what I decided to do is I'll do the slap and then I'll slowly close my fist. So it's clear that that is a gripping action. I'm not snapping my hand into a fist. So for that version of it, we're starting right to right. I dropped underneath, I went 1. Is that okay? You know what I mean? And I remember one of my students when I showed them this, he goes, you just can't do that, Ian. Yeah, I can. You know, it just looks horrible. But that's the way we're doing it. And then, of course, you're grabbing his arm, right? So you block out, you've still got hold of his arm. Now, that arm could be anywhere when I elbow it. But for the kata, I've got to pick a place for it to be, right? So I understand that I'm just holding, if he's a tall guy, I'll be holding his arm here. If he's a bit shorter than me, I might be holding his arm here. So it could be anywhere. So where I'm going to stick it in the kata, so I'll stick it directly opposite, because it's the most aesthetically pleasing place for it to be. You know, so I'm not losing effectiveness for aesthetics, because it could be anywhere. I just thought, well, I've got the effectiveness, I may as well make it look nice and symmetrical as well, right? So again, that's maybe a consideration that's affected the way our own katas are constructed. So, and as you do it, so first movement again, quick, slow, enjoy yourself. This hand's still open at this point, because you know, it's like you've got hold of a big bit of arm, right? And then I make it more clear that then I'm definitely getting a strong grip on it. There's, you've got the block, and then the elbow. There, 1, 2. Is that okay? And it ends up kind of fist to fist. But again, I've taught this kata to a lot of people. Some have ended up doing it like that. Fine. You know, and for me, it's an interesting bit of living archaeology, if you like, to see how other people have taken this kata I created and tweaked it. Because I can see styles developing in front of my eyes. You know, I've got a Goju friend who liked all these drills, so when he does the movements, he's done them similar to how they appear in some of the Goju katas. Got a Shotokan friend, same. I've even taught them to a guy who does Wing Chun as his main art, and he really likes these drills and now teaches them as part of his Wing Chun. But again, they look a little bit different because he's trying to do them in a way that fits with everything else. He's like, okay, so I can guarantee you, you know, if you deliberately go, no, I want to do that instead, I might mention to you your hand's a bit low, but if you go, yeah, I know, but I'm a tall guy, so I'm always going to do it this way, fine. You know what I mean? And that's how you get these. I mean, it's interesting because people get really obsessed now about katas changing even slightly. But you look at the styles we've got today, they all came from pretty much one generation, the versions that get passed down to styles. They were all doing it different. Do you know what I mean? Or they changed it over time. And it even seems that, depending on when you learnt it from a given master, they'd be a little bit different. They were never set in stone. There's a lovely line from that from Funakoshi, which is really nice. Again, from his autobiography. He said, there are not now, nor have there ever been, any hard and fast rules regarding the performance of kata. It is therefore not surprising that they vary with the times and even from instructor to instructor. You know what I mean? So this idea that there was one perfect version and anything that's, varied is akin to martial blasphemy doesn't hold up to historical scrutiny. They were all quite happy to do it a little bit differently. Whereas now you'll get, two Shotokan clubs, and one will have the hand there, and one will have it here, and oh God, they don't know what they're doing, those lot. People get really upset over minor details in a way that the old masters wouldn't have cared less about. Anyway, so the way I would do it, slap, slow squeeze, hand closes, to indicate there's a grab going on there. Elbow, I've decided to put it in front of one another because I just like the way it looks and feels. Is that okay? See if you do that one on its own. Start with your right foot forward. I just said that I won't critique any little things. That didn't last long, did it? This isn't wrong, but I'm just pointing out because I laughed. I'm not going to point you out, but I spotted one person do this. I laughed to myself, and then I've seen two of the others do it as well. I would suggest that that's bad enough. That slow kind of squeeze looks pretty graphic and horrible. There's no need to go finger by finger. That's just mean. Yeah, that's something in the water around here. I'm scared. I want to get back down below that border. So however you want to do it's fine, right? What I'd like you to try and do now is just do all three of those separately, right? Solo. So you had number one, where we're standing with our left foot forwards, we crashed in, we did the elbow. Number two, we still on left foot forwards, we covered, we dropped under, we stepped, and we kneed. And then we had number three, which we just done where we slap, we squeeze, finger by finger all at once, and then we block out, and then we hit with the elbow. Is that okay? First two are in left, third one's in right. Is that okay? And then we'll try and link them together, and then we've got a kata starting to take shape, eh?